Hello and welcome to CBS Latin America Evening News. Tonight we'll be discussing the recent riots in Venezuela. Riots have continued over the course of the past few months, centered around the nation's capital, Caracas. Throughout the course of these riots, the main players have been Nicolas Maduro himself, as well as reporters, Maduro's policemen and soldiers, loyalist groups supporting Maduro, as well as the young people and students who have been rioting for months. Young people have been gathering almost daily in Caracas to throw stones at security stationed there beginning in February. Recently, over a half dozen people carried concrete and metal slabs to Caracas to build barricades in the streets.
Out with Maduro! Out with Maduro! Out with Maduro! Out with Maduro!
Maduro has spoken out about these revolts, arguing that the rebels are responsible for 95% of the deaths, and added that the U.S. was trying to interfere without permission, using information leaked by the infamous Snowden for proof. In addition, in a recent press conference, Maduro argued that Obama has been funding the revolutions with nearly $5 million per year. Hello, I am President Nicolas Maduro of Venezuela. It has recently come to my attention that America has been funding the Venezuelan revolts with over $5 million per year. Although these revolts have only been going on since February, this is very concerning to our country. We are not pleased with you, America. Thank you. As protest efforts have dwindled recently, protesters have taken to walking or naked or posting naked photos online, saying they'd rather be naked than without freedom of expression. Out with Maduro! Out with Maduro!
Do the world a favor, honey.
Finally, the government recently cleared out 4 protesters' camps and arrested over 240 protesters. Due to the fact that these revolts have recently been lessening in their intensity, I predict that they will soon come to an end. In addition, so many protesters have recently been arrested in their most recent events that there's not many people left to continue these revolutions, and I predict that they are soon coming to their end.
Today, we gather in Brazil where violence has increased involving government officials and gang members as we are approaching the World Cup. Leaders of the gang, Comando Vermelho, have ordered an attack on the city to try to take back territory that they believe belongs to them. As more violence has occurred, elite military troops have been sent in along with the police officers for a last-minute security push as the World Cup nears.
You're not in charge here anymore. The military is taking control of this place.
Police are now being accused of multiple deaths and injuries, angering many of the Brazilian citizens. Rio is becoming less safe by the minute as tourists are beginning to witness all that has been going on from their hotel rooms. Some tourists say that they can even hear gunshots from where they are staying. Protests and riots have broken out in the recent death of dancer Douglas Rafael da Silva Pereira, supposedly killed by the police station in Rio. Violence is still occurring in Brazil as children are now beginning to experience and witness shootings, stray bullets, and killings. Brazil is now further behind in preparation for the World Cup than any other country has been before. As we get nearer to the World Cup, more violence and riots are almost certain to occur, although they will hopefully dwindle down as the event begins.
In the category of politics, today we have an overview of the government corruption and instability in San Salvador, El Salvador. Some of the key factors involved in the upheaval include Salvador Sanchez Cerén, the newly elected president, as well as the opposing party Arena, the Mara Street gangs, former President Flores, and media networks. On March 14th, the Washington Post announced that a former guerrilla warfare commander named Salvador Sanchez Cerén won the presidential election by just 6,300 votes out of 3 million. The opposing candidate was expected to take legal action and demand a recount. There is widespread fear that Cerén will try to mirror the policies of Hugo Chavez.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
Then, on April 2nd, the newly elected president visited the Nicaraguan President Daniel Ortega to discuss previous revolutionary days, Central American integration, and peace between the two countries. It is unusual for a president to hold such a conference just weeks after being elected, and there is probably an ulterior motive. On April 7th, new information emerged regarding the status of the government's peace treaties with the Tamara street gangs. There is evidence that gang members were being instructed to attack police, public officials, and the incoming presidential administration. You know what they say, man? Gotta click it, a ticket. In the months of the election, homicide rates were up to 8.9 killings per day, and this could be the beginning of violence in opposition of the new president. Meanwhile, on April 16th, details surfaced that the opposing party in the election, called the Arena, used fear tactics such as canceling U.S. aid to Salvadorans in order to bribe people for votes. This demonstrates the tensions between the Arena and the presidential administration. Another political scandal emerged on April 30th when former President Flores was arrested for the embezzlement of $5.3 million donated by Taiwan. Finally, on May 6th, newspapers and media began using drones, tiny aircrafts with cameras, to gather information for news stories. These are banned from the U.S. and raise ethical concerns. There are also concerns that larger government drones with predator capabilities are being used by the government.
Guys, I got the stuff. You wanted the cocaine, right? Yeah. Oh my God, it's a drone!
Oh. Based on the amount of recent examples of government corruption in El Salvador, I predict that situations will become more violent. Perhaps it will escalate to a level comparable to the turmoil in Venezuela.
A story of blood emeralds from Fox News Latino reports in Colombia, President Juan Manuel Santos has sent troops to emerald mines to prevent violence. This comes after Emerald Czar Victor Carranza's death last year, as violence increases between guerrilla groups for control of the industry. President Santos is concerned that foreign investors will be scared away, hurting Colombia economically. Also, according to the BBC, an illegal gold mine in the Cauca department collapsed in southwest Colombia, trapping 30 people and killing 3. It's unknown how many more died, but like the emerald mines, most gold mines are controlled by guerrilla gangs. As published by Mail Online, Colombian police seized 7 tons of cocaine in Cartagena, bound for Rotterdam in the Netherlands. Each package, over 7,000, was stamped for the gang responsible.
You got the stuff? Of course I got the stuff, man. You got the money?
Yeah, I got the money.
We Colombians, we brothers. You're not playing me, right? You got the
No,
money?
I got the money.
You ready? You let him steal cocaine!
If you ain't talking money, I don't wanna talk.
It's the largest seizure since 2005 and a great success for the Colombian police. However, according to Fox News Latino, 5 days later, 3 tons of liquid cocaine was also seized in Cartagena. The Los Urbanos gang was responsible, and it was another record-breaking seizure. However, several port police officers were found to be accepting bribes from gangs. Fox News also revealed that the Colombian Air Force bombed a FARC camp in rural Guaviare province. Their target was Carlos Lozada, the commander of the FARC's Eastern Bloc. However, Lozada escaped while 4 members of his security force were killed. The Miami Herald reports military units have occupied Buenaventura after 87 reported murders in 4 months. The city handles 60% of Colombia's exports and imports, while a turf war is ongoing between the rivals Los Urbanos and the Impresa. As reports of disappearances, displacement, and dismemberment increase, more kids are being recruited or taken, and chop houses have become common. A 64-year-old resident reported a head washed up under her neighbor's shack, and the only reason it was noticeable was because the tide usually carries body parts the other way. Today, the city is under complete paramilitary control.
She's not going anywhere in the South American
I'm a little disappointed.
continent, and she needs to help the children there and in Africa. Meredith, why have you only been to Europe and the United States?
Hello, my name is President Nicolas Maduro of Venezuela.
I gotta be serious.
The Venezuelan revolts with over $5 million per year. Although these revolts have only been going on with approximately since February, it is incredibly concerning to me. This information was brought to my attention after Mr. Snowden leaked some information from your country, America. We are not pleased with you. That is my attack dog. Be prepared.